In not only my life, but others as well, we have been or will be faced with situations that challenge us in ways we cannot anticipate and will have to deal with, similarly to Candido and Delaney's situation in the tortilla curtain. It is common to be criticized for something that could very possibly not even be true, leading to closed minds when going into certain things like meeting someone new, but already having a made up mind of them over a rumor or something you heard about them. I, as an individual, have seen people be judged for even the simplest of things despite them not knowing the person they are talking about. A saying my parents always instilled in me was, "Do not judge a book by its cover." The saying represents the importance of not judging people based off of the way that they first appear to be. People will always be quick to judge, but the ones who truly care will be the ones who stay and get to know you personally. The tortilla curtain is an accurate reflection of my year and life when related to the types of obstacles that the characters are faced with. Throughout the story, Candido and America struggled to live the dream that they had always desired. They thrived to reach their goals, however, many obstacles had gotten in their way of achieving what they had wanted the most. This obstacle was society's perception of them. They were judged based off of a stereotype that made their lives significantly more challenging. Candido and America had to live day by day praying and wishing for a miracle. I, on the other hand, have had many obstacles in my life get in the way of getting what I had hoped for. I have been in situations where others were quick to judge me but simply did not know my whole story or even the story of the situation I was in the first place. Similarly to Candido and Delaney and the way that they first thought of each other. Fortunately, this past year I have learned that going into things with a negative expectation will often be just that and vice versa, like how the two had believed stereotypes to the point that they would almost search for reasons to get them to fit into the image that they had already had in their mind. This pertains to my life because it shows how when people judge out of ignorance, it creates borders between them which prevents them from things like growing new relationships or perspectives because they have already shut down the idea of something they do not truly know about or understand. In the beginning of the year, many of us in this class did not know anything about each other, and it is possible some of us came into this class with ideas about each other based off of things we have heard. But despite that, as the year progressed, everyone became more comfortable with each other, and we now all know each other a little better. In the tortilla curtain, many of the residents of Arroyo Blanco did not take the time to get to know the outsiders, such as Candido and America. Delaney hits Candido with his car, and he does not want to get to know him and decides to pay him off. For a long time, they stood there examining each other, unwitting perpetrator and unwitting victim, and then the man let the useless bag drop from his fingers with a tinkle of broken glass. The border here is a lack of communication, which shows how, had the two taken the time to get to know each other on even a slightly more personal level, the way us students in a classroom do, things probably would have ended differently because they would have been more sympathetic of each other's situations. The symbol that flows throughout the story is a wall. It represents a boundary that all the characters have and how each individual has a boundary set for their life. The definition of a boundary is something that indicates bonds or limits. Everyone has a metaphorical wall to overcome throughout their lifetime. In the tortilla curtain, a boundary throughout the story would be the wall surrounding Arroyo Blanco. Only residents can enter, and outsiders are seen as trespassers if they enter the premises. It was a private community comprising of a golf course, 10 tennis courts, a community center, and some 250 homes, each set on 1.5 acres and strictly conforming to the covenants, conditions, and restrictions set forth in the 1973 Articles of Incorporation. A wall is overall the best symbol to describe my year when compared to the tortilla curtain because of the way it can represent the obstacle of getting past people's ideas that typically work negatively, like how Candido and Delaney should have done to improve their lives.